Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How are you? I'm happy to see you here today. Give me a moment while I set up this laptop for chatting with you. So, while I set up this laptop to chat with you, I just wanted to take a moment to reflect on what we did yesterday. Just think about that. We spoke about the space in between, the pauses that we can take so that we control how we respond to a situation. And today our topic is about, you know, what our topic is about today. I told you yesterday it's the voice that is telling us constantly about what we're doing, the voice that tells us whether we're good enough or not, the voice that tells us if we are doing a good job or not. So that is the voice we've been talking about. Oftentimes, like I said yesterday, if even if you're eating just lettuce, if you tell yourself constantly, oh my god, I'm putting on weight, you will, simply because that's how the mind responds. And this is my favorite topic because I've worked with this for years. For years, not one or two, maybe about 20 years or more, trying to figure out why is it that certain people feel like everything is manageable and certain people feel like they can't manage certain things in their life, right? Just a second while I set this up. It's just taking a long time to show up. It's really taking a very long time today, and I have no idea why. So just give me a minute, okay? 48. So this is good. I've come to 48 subscribers. That's what it's showing. So let's just see. Oh, the internet is really slow. I'm sorry if you're having difficulty saying good morning or chatting with me. I'll do that as soon as it's up. I can't waste any more of your time waiting. I'm really sorry about that. That's just the internet connection. It's extremely slow right now. Yeah, one laptop is able to support this live stream. The other laptop on which I look at your talking is not something that works. Is not something that's working. So just hold on. So today's theme is our daily choice of how we speak to ourselves. Very often we say, oh my God, this is not working for me. That is not working for me. Why do they treat me like this? Why am I always treated like this? Right? So there is one thing about generalizations. When you generalize and you say, hey, this is the way people talk to me always, that is how your mind processes things. Right? If you say everybody does this to me, that's how we feel sometimes when one or two people have, we feel attacked by one or two people, right? So they may not be attacking, they may be like, just talking. And that's the way things are. Like, for instance, I was just watching this show on TV called Blue Bloods. I don't know if you've seen that. They're a family of police officers, different levels, And one of the police officers, the youngest one, falls in love with another police officer, and he brings her home for dinner. And she's about to be part of the family, so she comes for that dinner. And everyone at the table, she says a prayer or something, and everyone's like, yeah, you mixed up this, you mixed up that. And she just says, why do you have to be so mean? And she breaks down and she walks away. Right. Now, that is because she felt attacked by the way they were talking. They, on the other hand, thought that they were just being friendly, and for them, that was just the way, things happen. So sometimes when we feel like we have been attacked, we say, everybody is doing this to me, which may not be true. There are so many times when I've worked with people, I've worked with a mother and a daughter, and the daughter said, you never did this for me. You did that for my brother. You did this for so and so, but you never did this for me. The mother said, you silly girl, you never needed me to do that for you because you always did it for yourself. And I was very proud of the fact that you could do it for yourself. And this one, the daughter, it was such a sweet woman. The daughter just leaned on her and cried for a bit and said, no, I'm just feeling like a baby just now. So that's good. And the girl was about 37 at that point. Okay. But it's cute. It's really nice that someone can do that. Hi, Renu. Good morning. I'm sorry this chat took so long to come on. Hi. It's still slow. It's still very, very slow, my chat. So please don't mind that, and I hope the video is not as slow. Please do let me know. It's wonderful to have so many people watching today. So, like usual, I'm very glad you chose to be here. It's really wonderful to have you all. And let's prepare for the day with these three deep breaths. Breathe in, close your eyes, please. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out again. And the reason I ask you to close your eyes when we do this is because when you close your eyes, you're looking at what's happening with your body, right? So imagine your best friend calls you, okay? And they say, I made a mistake and I'm terribly embarrassed about this mistake. I've ruined everything. I feel so bad I've ruined everything. And then you gently ask, what happened? What happened? And they tell you what happened, right? And then what would you say to them? If it is really that big, you would say, yes, okay, it is a really big thing, but let's see how we can handle it. If it's not as big as the person is conceiving it to be in their mind, you'd say, hey, listen, it's not such a big deal. Let's see how we can handle this. Let's figure it out, right? What you would normally do is tell them it's okay and tell them that they'll figure it out, tell them they're learning, and tell them that you are standing with them in all of this, right? Wouldn't you? You would tell them you're standing with them in all of this. Correct. So what is the difference when you make that mistake? You know how we treat ourselves sometimes? We're so rude, we're so um, criticizing, very condescending to our own selves, not so much to people that we love. I would like to ask you, would you receive that same kindness? Would you receive that same kindness? If you're willing to receive that same kindness, that is where our healing emotionally begins. That is where our emotional healing begins. So, today's story, let's say there was a gardener who watered every plant except for one plant, the smallest one. He wouldn't water that. Every morning he walked past it, he admired it, he looked at it, he cared for the trees, he admired the roses, he protected the vegetables, he did everything. But this one tiny plant, he assumed somehow it will grow on its own. He didn't need to do anything about it. He thought it'll grow on its own, it doesn't matter, right? The roses needed care, the vegetables needed care, but this particular one, he said, will take care of itself, right? Months later, he looks at the plant and he asks, why aren't you thriving? Why aren't you thriving? He's asking, literally asking himself as he's looking at this plant, why aren't you thriving? The plant wasn't failing itself. It was supposed to be taken care of. And the person who was supposed to take care of it wasn't taking care of it, right? Simply wasn't receiving anything that any of the other plants were actually receiving at that time. It wasn't receiving any of that. Sometimes we tend to forget that we need to encourage ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to do things just the way we would physically do things, like take care of our hair by getting a hair spa, oiling our hair, taking care of our hair and combing it regularly, or making sure that our skin looks good. Similarly, our emotions require care. Our emotions require care, right? Just as much as our bodies do. Our emotions require care. So let's not forget to encourage ourselves. Your inner voice becomes your inner climate. Your inner voice, they say your inner critic, right? But I would like you to consider your inner voice to be something that actually tells you whether you can do something well or not. So that I'm not asking you to lie to yourself. Okay. If there is something you cannot do, you need to know that you cannot do it. Like I even see parents these days. Oh, my son is great at painting. He loves painting. My daughter loves painting. She loves skating. If you look at the painting, you would look at it as something that's not something that needs so much appreciation sometimes. Right? That kind of appreciation doesn't do us any good. Right? I'm not saying put the child down because the child doesn't know, but knowing whether the child actually has talent or is just doing it and it's okay to, say, yeah, you're doing a good job for the sake of doing a good job, and not making the child feel like they're doing a great job is one thing. You need to be able to distinguish, right? And we need to be able to distinguish with ourselves also. We can't be patronizing and say, yeah, you can do everything. No, we cannot do everything. And it's okay. We are all not meant to do everything. We are not meant to be super women or supermen. We don't need to do that, right? It's simply that we need to say, okay, if you couldn't do something, just say, okay, I tried my hands at it and I couldn't do it. And I gave it a pretty long time. It's not like I did it once and I decided I couldn't do it. I did it about, let's say, a half a dozen times, or, I did it about 25 times. And I now realize that I'm not very good at it and it's okay. But I tried, right? I tried, and that's good. So, like, I see a lot of people who think that put pressure on themselves also, who think that, they need to turn out things at a very great level, even if it's like something you do in at home, like cooking, right? You're not cooking for professional reasons. You don't need to be like a chef. You don't need to be like someone on MasterChef to be able to create something at home, right? People who, do things like keep their home, men or women who want to keep their home organized and in a certain way. If you have children, you will know that it's not possible 100%, and your children need more of your time than does your house need time to keep it clean, right? So these are things we need to think about. And the goal isn't to think positively, it is to think truthfully, right? I would like you to think of things that you've done really well and say, hey, I did that really well. I'm amazing. Not I'm hopeless. I can't do this. If you made a mistake, say, I'm learning. I'm learning. Or I'm learning not to do that because that's not my cup of tea. That conversation was different. I couldn't handle it. I'm proud that I showed up and I tried. Today is another chance. You could say these things to yourself instead of saying, you know what, I went to that meeting and I really messed it up. I didn't know how to handle those people and I'm almost about to sob. No, that's not it. Compassion to yourself is not about lying to yourself and patting yourself on the back. It is refusing to abandon yourself. Okay, I'm going to repeat that again for you. Compassion isn't about lying to yourself. It is about refusing to abandon yourself. Please let that sink in. Okay? And as we do this, now let's just take 3 deep breaths and close our eyes as we do a little visualization for today. Imagine you're walking into a closed library. Oh, I forgot the breaths. Okay, let's do 3 deep breaths. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in again, and breathe out. And once more, breathe in and breathe out. Imagine you're walking into a quiet library and one wooden table sits there, and on that wooden table is this beautiful journal. On top, like it says, like it would say a daily planner or something, this one says, the words I live by. You open it, and the first pages contain the phrases you repeat to yourself over the years. You've repeated to yourself over the years. Some are gentle, some are painfully harsh, and you read them without judgment. Now turn to a blank page. Now pick up a fountain pen and ask yourself, if someone I deeply loved were living my exact life today, what would I want them to hear? What would I want to say to them? And let one sentence appear to your mind. Perhaps it could be something like, you're doing better than you think. You don't have to carry this all alone. Or maybe you want to say, keep going, you're doing well. Or you are allowed to rest. You don't have to carry that load. Write that one sentence on the page. Now realize the person who needs to hear it first is you. The person who needs to hear this first is you. So place your hand over your heart, read that sentence gently and silently to yourself, slowly, twice, and let it settle. And whisper, these are the words I chose to live by. These are the words I choose to live by, not choose. These are the words I choose to live by. And then sit quietly for a minute. Nothing changes around you, just the space around you changes. And now you can rub your hands together. Place your hands on your cheeks and your eyes and slowly come back. And as you step into your day today, oh, your experiment for today, as is mine, is to catch yourself speaking harshly to yourself. Just catch yourself speaking harshly to yourself. Nothing else that you need to do. Just catch yourself speaking harshly to yourself. Don't judge it. There is no need to say, oh my God, look at what you're doing, Sahana. Why do you talk to yourself like this? No, just say, oh, Sahana, you just said this to yourself. Renu, you just said this to yourself. Anita, you just said this to yourself. That's all we want, right? And then what we want to do is without any fake positivity. We don't want to be fake about it. We don't, hey, you're great. You don't have to. No. Without any fake positivity, instead of saying something like, suppose what you said to yourself was, I'm useless, just say, that didn't go the way I hoped it would. I will learn from this. I will learn from this. You're always saying I'm far behind everybody. Just say I'm taking that one next step that will take me there further, faster. Okay? That's all you need to do for today. Just be kind to yourself. Do not rush. Do not be uh, the one to say, hey, you know what, been saying this to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Okay, I did this. So now let's change it. That's all we need to do. And that, um, more than noticing what you've been saying to yourself, being kind to yourself is sometimes a little more difficult. So just watch out for it and just be really kind to yourself. Think you were talking to a child or to somebody else that you really love and see what you can do. And my dear collective, with today we finished 2 days of the third week. 2 days of the third week. And all I wish for you is that that voice inside you steadies and becomes a quiet, settling voice that says that you are enough. No matter what, you are enough. You can try your hand at 10 things, fail at 9. You are still enough. Okay? I want that steady voice to be the one that tells you the truth and the voice that reminds you that you are worthy of kindness and that the first person to give you that kindness should be you. And when you give yourself that kindness, other people begin to give you that kindness as well, right? Even on difficult days, you are worth that kindness. So, my dear friends, thank you for being here today, and I hope that you will be a little careful, a little more careful about what you're saying to yourself. Thank you. Let's begin again. Thank you for being here. I really Hope you enjoyed today and that you would go on with trying to be kind to yourself. So, bye bye. I'm typing. Have a great day. Be kind to. I love you. Thank you. You too, Renu. Have a great day and let's begin again. This is our motto. We begin again. No matter what happens to us, we begin again. See you. Bye bye. Have a wonderful day. Bye.